Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today we will start the second story from the unit 6. What does my clock say? And the story 2 is called I Will Later. And with the title, we get the idea that the main character probably in this story is going to say this with his actions or in words, that he will do everything later. Probably this story is about not using the time carefully. Let's see whether it's that or not. Now, as I'm reading, you need to look in your book and make a note of all the mistakes this boy is making. Right? Okay, let's read. I will later. Ring, the alarm buzzed. Salman groped in the dark and turned the alarm off. Groped. What does the word groped mean? Groped means to search blindly or uncertainly by feeling with the hands. When it's dark and you cannot see things and you are looking for something, then you use your hand to feel and look for it. Right? So this is what he did. And he searched for the alarm clock and switched it off. Fajr time, Salman, his mother called. Salman grunted, turned around and went back to sleep. Grunted. Now what is the meaning of the word grunted? Grunted means to make a low, short, guttural sound. Like something like this. Right? So he made this sound, he turned around and went back to sleep. He dreamt of cars, airplanes and the cool computer game he had played last night. Somewhere in his dream he could hear what sounded like his mother's voice, but he ignored it. What could his mother be doing in his dream? What could his mother be doing in his dream? All this thought was coming in his mind while he was dreaming about cars and airplanes and the computer game that he had played the previous night. A few minutes later, he opened one eye groggily and checked the time. 7 o'clock! Oh no! His school van came at 7:15. How had 2 hours passed by so quickly? Had his mother tried to wake him up? So he had ignored his mother's voice and he had not paid attention to her, and now he's thinking that had his mother tried to wake him up? And he opened his eyes groggily. Now what is the meaning of the word feeling groggy? It means that to be weak and unable to think clearly or walk correctly, usually because of tiredness or illness. And in case of Salman, he was feeling groggy because of oversleeping. Right? So he could not think clearly and he could not walk properly. Right? So he opened his eyes. He jumped out of bed, showered, changed, grabbed his bag and ran into the kitchen. Right? So he had to do everything quickly because he had only 15 minutes left for the van to come. He looked longingly at the fluffy omelette and buttered toast. So he wanted to eat. He wanted to eat the fluffy omelette and buttered toast, but he could not. Now, what is the meaning of the word grabbed? It means to take hold of something or someone suddenly or roughly. So he did not pick up the bag nicely, but he just quickly grabbed it and he ran into the kitchen. And what is the meaning of the word longingly? It means to want something. So he wanted to eat the fluffy omelette and the buttered toast that his mother had prepared for him, but he could not because he had woken up late. He managed to drink a few sips of milk. Now before the van's horn rang, he could only drink a few sips of milk before he heard the incessant ringing of the van's horn. What is the meaning of the word incessant? It means never ending. So it was constantly ringing. The van's horn started ringing and he now had to leave the home quickly. Now when he was leaving the home, what is he feeling? He guiltily remembered that he hadn't even prayed qaza or read the Quran, greeted his parents or kissed his baby sister. So he's feeling guilty about that, a feeling that you have done something wrong. So he realized at that time that he has done these many things wrong. He did not offer Fajr prayer, he missed it, and then he did not even offer qaza. He did not read Quran, he did not say Assalamu alaikum to his parents, and he did not kiss his baby sister, so he ignored his baby sister also. So because of waking up late, he missed all these things. As the van made its 45 minutes journey to school, Salman chatted with his friends about the internet, computer games, cricket, cartoons, magazines, etc. Now just see that he is spending 45 minutes in just talking with his friends, and what he is talking about is not something constructive, not something useful, right? So if he had talked about these things for 20 minutes, so okay, that was fine. But he spent 45 minutes in talking about things which are not going to help him learn at school, or he will not make him a good human being. Before he knew it, he was at school facing the teacher for the first period of the day. So now he was at school, and this was the first period of that day. As he went through his bag, he realized he had forgotten to pack the textbook for the day. So this was another mistake, that he could not pack his bag properly because of probably sleeping late and then waking up late. Realized, what does the word realize mean? Realize means to understand something suddenly. So when he looked at his bag and the contents of the bag, he realized, he understood that he remembered that he had forgotten to pack his textbooks for the day. He had also forgotten to finish his homework, another mistake. While the teacher took the roll call, he secretly copied his friend's homework. Phew, he managed to finish in time without getting caught. Now just see that he had forgotten to pack his bag properly, then he had not finished his homework, and then he is doing it secretly by copying from his friend's notebook. Now if you do that, if you just copy from your friend's notebook, only your friend is learning. You are not benefiting from the learning, right? So you have wasted your time, and now you are wasting your intelligence also, that you're not using your mind to do the work yourself, you're just copying from your friend. Another important thing to remember is that anything that you're hiding from your teachers and from your parents is something bad, and you should never do such a thing. And he had to hide from her teacher, and the last line says he managed to finish in time without getting caught. So he was not caught by the teacher, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching everything, and Karaman Katibin is writing everything, noting everything down. So we should be afraid of Allah and not of any human being, and we should never hide anything from our parents or our teachers. Paragraph number 4. When he got home from school at 2 o'clock, he was extremely tired. He had lunch and watched television. After 2 hours, he decided to start on his homework, but not of course before checking his email. As he logged on MSN, he saw that 2 of his friends were online. He chatted with them and checked out some websites. It was only 2 hours later when his mother shouted at him that she needed the phone that he logged off. Now just see that he watched the television right after coming home at 2 o'clock, and he spent 2 hours in it. And then he started chatting with his friends, and he just checked out some websites, and he spent 2 hours in this. So from 2 o'clock to till 6 o'clock, he wasted all the time. Well, he had to do his homework anyway. He had solved only a few mathematics problems when his tummy rumbled, right? So he started feeling hungry. Rumble means to make a continuous low sound. So his tummy rumbled, meaning uske pet mein gurgur ho rahi thi. He felt hungry. So he started going to the kitchen. On his way to the kitchen, the bell rang. Opening the door, he was pleasantly surprised to see his friends. He needed little encouragement to join them for a cricket match. Now he had wasted 4 hours, and now when he had just started doing his homework, he just went for playing the cricket match. He got home after Maghrib. He prayed because his mother told him to do so. Then he had dinner in front of the television. So he prayed only because his mother told him to pray. So not for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just because his mother had told him he prayed. Will he get any sawab for it? Of course not. And then he had dinner in front of the television. So he had already spent 2 hours in the afternoon, and now after Maghrib, when he's having dinner, again he is watching television. His paragraph number 5, his father asked him to help his brother with his homework, but he remembered his own and got away. Now when his father mentioned homework, then he remembered that he had not done his homework and he should go and do his homework. And he ignored his father's command, and he ignored his brother. He missed the look of disappointment on his brother's face. So his brother felt very unhappy, disappointed. Then he did not help him. His sister wanted him to fix her dollhouse, but he had to do his homework. So again his sister needed help, but he could not help them. So he could not help his family members. He did not obey his father. In the morning he ignored his mother's voice. So he could not do all this because he is constantly wasting his time. And that history assignment had to be done too. So he remembered that he had to do his homework and he had to complete his history assignment. He decided to search for it on the net. He found the material he needed and then chatted with some friends. Now what kind of friends he has that they also are busy doing all this? So he searched the material, but he did not do anything with the material. Just searching the material is not enough. You have to print it out, or you have to rewrite it in your own words, or you have to copy it down. He did not do all that, just found the material, and then he started chatting with his friends. When he finally got offline, it was midnight. It was 12 o'clock. He was so sleepy that after setting his alarm clock, he dropped on his bed and was fast asleep. So again, without doing his homework, he was in bed, right? So he has wasted a lot of time and he had made a lot of mistakes. Now what you need to do is that you need to make a web of all the mistakes that he made and then write a few lines to say what was the result of all those mistakes, what happened to his life. Okay, Jazakallah, Allah Hafiz, see you next time.